Good morning and welcome to Frank's School, 130th day, 6th year, first video. Hydra wanes, but Marion waxes. Hydra is not going to go away, but I have spent weeks now dealing with so many terms and nouns and names and ideas that I lump together as Hydra. That is going to slow down and not completely go away, as I say. But there's going to be less so. The weather's changing, I can begin to go outside. But I say, but Marion waxes. Now Marion is this fictitious character that I created who is the best of craftsmen, but he never speaks a word. He is wordless. And by that I mean, you're gonna, in Frank's School, I'm going to start to show you more things outside, things that don't necessarily have to be explained. So that's going to happen, but it hasn't gone on yet. All right, yesterday I could not come up with the name Hagen. There are the 4 open-air museums that, together with the Hocklings, I visited several years ago. These 3 in Germany, this one in Netherlands. Each one has a playlist. And I mentioned them because of the connection to Das Volk, what Das Volk were doing. Well, Detmold is the one where you'll see that the best. This is about windmills. This is the largest open-air museum in Germany, and very much about farms, not completely. Hagen is absolutely wonderful. It's about craftsmen, but getting industrialized now. The very beginnings of being industrialized. Unbelievable. Arnhem has a mixture. But anyway, each one is on in Frank's School as a playlist. If you want to go there with me and with the Hocklings, the playlists are actually quite long and you can see them. Now, I put this up here because industrial metabolism, at one point I mentioned this book, Industrial Metabolism. In my search for the cutting edge of what had happened to, say, the idea of thermodynamics and culture, I came to industrial metabolism. Well, it occurred to me that you could also, this does not really consider cottage industrial metabolism. Cottage industry is a term which I may well have learned from Wayne Frost. I'm not sure, possibly not, but I think of him in this connection because Wayne Frost, I've spoken about him just a little bit ago in these videos, fabulous artist, but also a Peace Corps volunteer. About the same time that I was in Brazil, he was in Brazil, and I remember him telling me that as you drive along, look in people's backyards. If you're looking for craftsmen and cottage industries, don't look at their front yards, don't look at their house, but look in their backyards, because there sometimes you can catch a glimpse of what's going on there. Not that it's hidden, it's just that it's cottage industry. So I wanted to mention him and his teaching. He taught me a lot more than just that. All right, now given my situation, I'm a builder, I can build. What do you build and how do you build it? Well, Marion's going to show you. As a matter of fact, yesterday, 129, I was outside filming and showing you some. But I want to take these on. Here are some television shows. This Old House. I'm sure it's dearly loved. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. As a matter of fact, those guys look so pleasant. But I have such issues with This Old House. It's a little complicated to explain in a case of This Old House because you can watch that and you can get skills, many, many skills, absolutely, and it's good for that. And it's fun to learn it that way. But I think I've spoken elsewhere. The way they build and what they're building is not suitable for the future. In a word, if I had to just say one thing, I would probably say glue. And I was just looking 10 minutes ago on TV, it was there, and I saw that one of their sponsors was Gorilla Glue. I'm not surprised. But anyway, this one I have a little bit of mixed feelings about it. But anyway, it is a far cry from the kind of building that I think is more ecologically moral, if you will. Now these shows, Tiny House, I think it's Tiny House Nation, they might call it at one point. a show about shipping containers, converting them into living spaces in tiny paradises. I just saw that. DIY, do it yourself, I think is the channel. There, I mean, to really be harshly with that, I think you are being made into fools if you watch that and don't realize what's happening. Again, it's curious. You know, that concept of tiny, I find very revealing, because there's obviously this desire that these advertisers and sponsors are picking up on, of people wish that they could somehow not have things so big, that they could simplify, that they could be tiny. But in those tiny houses, I mean, they're packed full of stuff that is not actually needed. And well, I'm gonna attack that. Actually, I'm gonna say I intend to attack. It's gonna get ugly maybe for some people. They might think it. I don't know if they'll think it gets. For authorities, it might get ugly. But I intend to attack some of these ideas. You know, those tiny houses. You know, it's nice that they give the budget or something like that. And oh, you could build this tiny house for $40,000. And that's not even furnishing it. I mean, it's such a far cry from the real world that is waiting, the real world of the ecology and the planet and the unsustainability of what's being done. So I'm not being eloquent on this, but I at some point I needed to mention him, and as I say, I'm going to attack. Just look at who is advertising this. Look at who is sponsoring this. It should not be too hard to see through what is going on there. I mean, if you enjoy it, fine. Keep watching it. The curious little things. But that is, maybe I could put it this way, that is such a far cry away from simple living, which I think you could actually probably go online and Google that and come up with maybe a Wikipedia article about simple living, living simply. That word tiny, they're just trying to use it to keep you spending money in foolish ways. Well, I mean, that's just nothing compared to what's going to happen. I really do intend to blatantly attack several, let's call them industries. Bye for now.